Hey everyone, how's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you another episode of Coffee with Coach. Hope you're up doing well. Got the mind in the right place. If not, as always, let's put it in the right place. So today, I want to share with you guys a conversation that I had with one of my students last night. So just like normal, typical night, spraying the mats, cleaning up, shutting things down. And a lot of times I have a lot of students like last night, had quite a few kind of just lined up waiting to ask questions about a technique, whatever. They wanted to just talk to me. And I just had one in particular student just kind of wait a little bit longer. I guess they're just waiting to catch me by myself so they could kind of ask me some questions privately, okay? So the question was, what do you do, or what was it? They asked me, what do I do if they're questioning their belt rank? Okay, so let's put a little context behind it. So they did a competition over the weekend. It didn't go as well as planned, but they still medaled. And they just didn't win like they would have hoped to have win or expected to win. They put in the work. They show up to class. They're there when they're supposed to be there. They're rolling with all the tough training partners. But it just didn't go as planned as what they thought. And it's pretty tough to like go to a tournament and you come up short and you see some of your teammates win that you train with on a routine basis. That's tough because you want to feel what they're feeling. You feel down and out and a little bit of disappointment, obviously, and then you're seeing a teammate, they're riding high and they're feeling good, and you want to feel what that feels like, at that moment, but instead you have the opposite feeling, so certain people just have to deal with certain things. The other comment that this person said was, they wouldn't tell me who, but I made it very clear to ask, like, was it someone in our academy? Because someone told him, well, I hope you don't even win, or I hope you don't even take bronze or something like that. And I was like, did someone in the school say that to you? Because if someone in the school say that to you, like we got to check that and we got to get them out of there if they're not like rooting for you and cheering you on to like do good, right? And they're like, no, it was no one in the school. So obviously it was like a friend or family member, right? So anyways, this person takes, bronze and silver or whatever. And I'm like, well, you just did exactly what they didn't want you to do. And you did one better and upped it by taking silver and another one. So like, they can eat that, right? That's what haters have to do. They have to eat your accomplishments when you do good or whatever, when they want you to lose. That's why you should never like wish like bad things on people or like for them not to do good, because most likely it'll not turn out in your favor that way. And then you have to eat that. All right. That sucks. So anyways, back to the other thing. They were just saying, how the loss, they just couldn't get it out of their head. Okay. Like, the voice in their head telling them like, they're not, worthy of the belt rank, or they're not as good as they should be or whatever. And they're questioning and doubting where they're at in jiu-jitsu as far as their belt rank goes. And I deal as a coach that's been doing this for over 14 years, and I've coached so many athletes, so many competitors. I deal with this all the time, okay, all the time. This is not the first student that has questioned this, their belt rank. And it's definitely not going to be the last, okay? Now, this individual doesn't have, it's just what it is. It's just what it is. Like, some people have really athletic gifts and skill sets, and they're just athletes. And then some people just aren't. They're not athletes. They're just, they can do jiu-jitsu, but they're just not able to do certain things that other people can't do. But that's just like, period. Like, I'm good at jiu-jitsu, but I still don't have certain things that other people have, okay? Explosiveness, quickness, whatever, dexterity, flexibility, all these little things that kind of like will help jiu-jitsu, I don't have. What I do have is really good work ethic. Okay, that's what I do have, and that's what it comes down to. Is that's all you need to have. The other stuff does help. But I've seen so many of the other students that do have the talents, the gifts, the athleticism, the quickness, the speed, the strengths, whatever. I've seen those students quit first. A lot of the times those students will break because those students, they're not used to losing. Okay. And when they do lose, they don't know how to handle it. Versus some of the other students I have where they lose on a routine basis. That's kind of like they're losing on the mat in practice and they're losing in competition. Those are the students that I typically have like stick it out the longest because they're used to like that, like they're building that mental toughness in them about like, hey, well, it's just another day on the mat. It's just another day in the arena at the competition or whatever. And those other students, those are the ones that cry the most and they quit and things didn't go their way or whatever. So it's just part of training, okay? Whether it's a bad day on the mats in practice or it's just a bad day in a tournament. Now, this isn't the only student that I had come up short over the weekend, okay? I had students in Chicago, I had students in Odessa competing, and some won and some didn't. And so the answer that I gave my student last night was like, did you have a good time doing what you were doing? Like, did you enjoy the experience and being with your teammates? And right away, without a thought, like question, like their answer was yes. I had a good time. I had like a great time. Like it was fun. I enjoyed doing what I was doing. I just lost. I said, and that's what you need to focus on, was just that. The other stuff we can fix. Okay, we can fix the techniques. We can go over film. Like we can work on, because there's always going to be something to work on, regardless of how good you are, how many you win or how many you don't win. It doesn't matter. You're always going to have things to fix and things to work on. That is jiu-jitsu and that is just life, period. And so I just told this individual, like, just keep showing up, okay? Keep showing up, keep asking questions. I gave you the belt rank that I gave you. You are that belt rank. It's just what it is. And you just have to keep believing in yourself and me as a coach to like just help guide you further. And the worst thing you can do is just quit. Is to just say, you know what, I'm not good enough. Other people don't think I'm good enough. These friends and family members, not our teammates, because our teammates are really, really good with like cheering each other on, and they're very, very supportive. And so you have to block all that other stuff out. If you love jiu-jitsu and you love training and you just love the martial art in itself and the people around you, okay, in the atmosphere and everything about jiu-jitsu, you can't let one loss, okay, or a couple losses take that from you, okay? Take your friends away, your teammates away, the feeling that you get from training jiu-jitsu is priceless. Like it's an absolute priceless thing. Like you just can't replace it with anything else. I've lifted weights my entire life. I just got done working out in my garage. It's by myself. Even if I went to the gym, it basically would be by myself with like 100 people in the gym because I'm not there to talk. I'm there to work out. But in jiu-jitsu, you have to talk. You have to socialize. Like you have to figure things out with your teammates, and you're combating each other, going back and forth, and you get up. And I've seen so many people after a submission or whatever, hey, appreciate you. Give them a hug afterwards. After they just got tapped, after they just got choked, submitted, footlocked, whatever, armbarred. That's jiu-jitsu people. They get up and they hug each other afterwards. Like what other sport or thing, like after you lose, do you get up and say, I appreciate you, or thank you, or give them a hug after just someone trying to choke you out? You just don't see that, right? So the feeling that you get from your teammates, from your jiu-jitsu, from just everything about it, you can't let a couple bad days on the mat or a couple bad tournaments take that from you, okay? If you really love jiu-jitsu and you actually just think about what jiu-jitsu does for you, it'd be horrible if you allow some negativity from some other friends or family members or a bad day at a tournament take that from you. And I've had so many students that I've had to talk out of quitting throughout the years. It's ridiculous. And I'll just give you a couple. Like I had one guy, man, he's beast, athletic wise, like six pack, like just no body fat, like just an animal on the mat, right? And they go out to a tournament and they lose, and then they disappear for an entire month. Like I don't see them at all. Calling them, texting them, emailing, crickets, nothing. Then they finally show up, and then I say, hey, like, what happened? Like, you get sick? Like, you hurt? Like, what was the matter? And they're like, no, coach, I lost, and I just couldn't handle losing. And I'm just blown away, like, just blown away, in shock. Like, man, you're going to let a loss, like a loss at a tournament, define you like that and take away a whole month of jiu-jitsu from you? Insane. No way, right? I had another one do that, like pretty much the same thing, like just disappear after, and another like really good, athletic, strong, like fit, like beast on the mat, wins the majority of the rounds, and then disappear after that. And I'm like, man, they just go ghost. Like, and I'm like, man, it's these athletic, really good people that just will disappear on me after a loss. And it's insane. It blows my mind because I've never done that. I can't relate to that. I had another student. He lost like 7 tournaments in a row, okay? Traveling all over the place. And it is what it is. Like, you know, the significant other gives me a call and is like, hey, so-and-so's in the stands, crying because they lost and blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, you know, that not literally, but like, yeah, they're probably pouting, got their head down, and they're not feeling good. I know what that's like. Like inside it hurts. Like it sucks. And they're like, no, they're literally crying with like tears coming down their cheek. And I'm like, dude, are you serious? It's like a grown man, like a grown person, fit, tattoos, like muscles and athletic and just really good. But it just wasn't going their way after 7 tournaments. And the significant other is like, well, they're thinking about quitting. They want to quit. They don't want to do jiu-jitsu anymore. And I'm like, Jesus, man. So they come back in town and I have to talk this individual out of quitting. I got to like pump him up, like get him back to thinking right, because he's not thinking right. They're thinking emotionally. So anyways, I get that individual back to thinking straight. And then we go out and compete again, and they actually win a tournament. And then, boom, that individual takes off and starts just like winning tournaments left and right. It just clicked. It just happened for him. But it never would have happened for this individual if he would have allowed himself and I would have allowed him to quit. It just never would have happened. And then this individual became, during the lower belt ranks, pretty well-known individual, because they just went on a tear for a while. And that all stems from me, like, not allowing them to quit. Like, I got to dig into them a little bit about quitting. Then I had another student. It's funny. It wasn't funny at the time, but it's funny now. But, like, we're at a tournament, and it's gi and no gi tournament in the same day. And I want to say the gi division was first, and this individual lost, And we're there, at a pretty big team, 50, 60 people, something like that. And I'm busy coaching. I'm running around all over the place. And this individual walks up to me and says, hey, coach, I'm out. I'm like, you're out? Like leaving out? Like you're done? You're we have another division left. And they're like, yeah, I'm out. Like I'm done. And I'm like, man, you're going to just walk out like that on the team, on yourself, and like basically just walk out with your tail between your legs, man, because you just lost like a division. Like you have a chance to come back and win and end the day winning. Anyways, person leaves. I'm busy. I'm like, I got students everywhere. I mean, I'm all over the place, busy coaching, directing people, other students to, hey, I need you to go here, help so-and-so, whatever. I just don't have time for that. So this person leaves. I'm thinking they're done for the day. They're gone. They're out of here. They're leaving the team hanging, whatever, leaving themselves hanging. And then like 30 minutes or so, they come back and they tap me on the shoulder and turn around and look, and they're like, I'm back. I'm going to do the other tournament. I'm going to do the other division. And I'm like, great. That should have been the thing in the decision in the first place. Anyways, they come back and win. All right. They come back and win. They take gold. And I think they beat the individual that beat them in the gi division, and they end the day on a high note versus walking out on a low note. Okay, they were about to waste an opportunity to get a comeback, because normally you're one and done, and then you have to wait like a couple weeks or a couple months for the next tournament, and you have to let that simmer. Like, you're gonna sit in that loss and just sit in it, right? And that sucks. And you have an opportunity right now, within a matter of like a short amount of time, 30, 40 minutes later to an hour, to come back and win that division again, the other division, and end the day on a good note. And they did it. And I'll never forget that. They'll never forget that, because they were pissed off at me. They were upset. Like, they were probably going to quit my school. Like, there's just, I didn't cuss at them. I just said, hey, you want to walk out like that with your tail between your legs? Like, it's just true. Like, you're not, you're that sucks, right? That's all I said. They just took it the way they took it. And it fired them up. They got to the car, almost to the car. They were about to leave, and they just turned around and came back. Best decision ever. Best decision ever, because that changed that individual for the better from like here on out with their career. Like, it's just, and I have a lot of stories like that with this other one. Like I said, he was literally crying, a grown man crying. He wants to quit and never wants to do jiu-jitsu again. And I got to talk him onto it, like shake him up, not literally, but, you know, in a sense, so like slap him up, not literally, but like, hey, wake up, snap out of it. Like, there's more work to do. We just got to get back to work. And then what happens? They do it, and they turn out to just be awesome in jiu-jitsu. You know, I got to hurry up because I got to get out of here and get up to the school. But I got a really close friend of mine that he's a black belt, and he just tries really hard, and he's trying to figure out this competition game, and he's losing and losing and losing and losing and losing, and then he'll win one, and then lose and lose and lose and lose and lose and lose, and then win one, and then lose some more. But his attitude is like, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I'm going to figure it out. And that's the attitude. That's the attitude you should have. Because again, like I said, if you love jiu-jitsu and you love what it does for you, and you love the people that you train with and the atmosphere, and just this thing, what it get, like, I've been training for over 25 years. Like, I still haven't had enough of it. Like, I gotta have it in my life. It's like a drug, man, like a good drug, because of the, I just have to be around my students. I gotta be on that mat. I gotta be in the atmosphere. I have to be, even though I've been injured, I have to be in this space, because when I'm not in this space, I'm not in a good space mentally or even physically. I have to be in this space. So, more of the story is, you have a couple bad days on the mat. You're feeling like your jiu-jitsu sucks. You're feeling like you're not the purple belt that you should be, or the blue belt, or the brown belt, or the black belt that you should be. Don't quit. Like, hang in there. Like, stop with the and I get it, because I don't like losing either. Okay. But uphold your rank. Get back to work. Get back to training. Get back to asking questions. Do something different. Try a new game. Do something to help make yourself grow. Put yourself in positions, or work on something that didn't go right at the tournament, and then fix those things, you know, because I'm telling you from experience, if you were to come into my academy and I take you to the wall with all my medals, I have some wood here. All right. So every tournament I've lost, I try to find the very next tournament, whether I had to drive there or fly there, and I won the next one. And then I'd go on a winning streak, and then I would lose. And I'd be like, I'll be damned if I'm going to sit here and sit on this loss. I'll go drive or fly wherever I got to go to, and then I'd go and win another one. And I'm not going to sit on a loss. I'm not going to sit on a loss. I got students that will get their belt rank, new belt, and then they won't compete. And they're competitors, but they want to give it some time. You're wasting time. You need to see where you're at right away. And I was telling my students this yesterday, like, every time I got a new belt, as soon as I got my blue belt, but at that time, it was like IBJJF really wasn't out there with that many tournaments. So I would drive to Houston, drive to Austin, drive to wherever I would have to drive to go compete. I want to see where I'm at. Purple belt, same thing. Houston, San Antonio, like Austin, wherever I need to go, I'm gonna go. I need to know where I'm at. Brown belt, same thing. Now IBJJF is kind of, you know, they're more tournaments. Now I'm flying places. I gotta go see. All right, black belt, same thing. As soon as I got my black belt, boom, I take second. Like the like 3-4 months later at Pans, the very next, like, because I got it in December and then Pans is in March, right? And I gotta know. I gotta go and see where I'm at. And then, you know, it's those phases, right? Like you're in school, right? Like you're whatever the junior high goes, and then after junior high you go to high school, and then you're a freshman, and then you go to the 12th grade, and then you got to go to college, and you're back at the bottom again, and it's just how it works. But you need to find out, and you need to accept the fact that you're gonna have some good and bad days with those things. And I love jiu-jitsu too much to let a loss take me from everything that I love about it and the people that I love about it, okay? So that's it. I've got many more. I would never leave this office where I'm at and this podcast or this episode with so many stories of people that literally have quit, and I couldn't talk them back into coming back because they never came back. I never even had a chance to have that conversation with them. Or they took that time off, or they were thinking about quitting and I had to talk them out of it. So many of those stories I would never leave. It's unreal. Okay, again, I can't relate to that because I've never felt that way, but I know what it does for people. So as a coach, like, I'm gonna try my hardest and fight to the very end to get them to stick with it. And I've had a lot of great success stories from people that didn't quit and went off and did great things. All right, guys, go off and do great things. We'll catch you on the next one. We'll see you.